Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and today we've got the real-world highway fuel economy test of the 2020 Nissan Altima with the variable compression 2-liter turbocharged engine. In this test, we're going to head out on the highway and keep a steady state 73 miles per hour in order to average a moving average of about 70 miles per hour. We're going to have the climate control set at 73 degrees. Tire pressures are all set at the door placard 33 psi. We're going to fill up using the same pump, using the same method, both for our initial and final fills, and give us an accurate fuel economy reading for what you might experience on a road trip. So before we get started, let's hop out, take a quick look at this vehicle. This is Nissan's family sedan offering, the good old Altima. Been around for a long time now, and a few years in this generation. This being the Platinum trim, it's got all the goodies and features, including that 236 horsepower turbocharged motor. If you want to see more on this car, subscribe to the channel, check out our other videos as they come out. We're going to have a sound system demo on its Bose audio system, as well as a full review after I've spent a good long time in the seat on an upcoming road trip. Now the EPA fuel economy ratings for this Altima come in at 29, a combined 25 city and 34 on the highway. But the reason we do this test is because that 34 mile per gallon highway reading averages at the EPA, the whole test averages a speed of 48 miles per hour. And we just don't think that's very indicative and comparable to how someone might actually use this car on a long road trip. Instead, we want to test at 70 miles per hour and just kind of see what kind of fuel economy you would realistically get out here in the real world. So, we're going to fill up the car and get started. Looks like our favorite pump number 8 is currently occupied. Oh, so we will use pump number 4 that just freed up. Now, since the Altima does not require anything above 87 octane on its cap here, we will be using 87 octane. So we are using the 3-click method to fill up here, which means I waited on high flow for this pump to click and then gave it 10 seconds. Now I'm filling low flow, and once it clicks, I'll give it another 10 seconds, do one last low flow, and then that'll be considered totally full. Make sure we got every little drop of gas in there. 2.258, so that should be a clean fill. Before we start up the car, I'm going to turn it into on mode here. Going to reset that GPS. We're going to reset our average speed, reset average fuel economy, reset trip A. Okay, let's get started. The fan is a little bit loud, but we have it on auto here. Now there's no sort of eco drive mode here in the Altima, just D, DS, and L. So we will be keeping it in D. We're not trying to hypermile on this test, we're trying to drive comfortably, smoothly, and efficiently. So we're going to get up to the highway, get up to speed at a comfortable click, and then cruise on in at 73 miles per hour. No problems getting up to speed here with the variable compression turbo. It pulls nice and strong. You can feel there's a lot of torque. Fortunately, we've got a digital speedometer here, so I can see exactly how fast the car needs to be set in order to get 73 on the GPS. This looks like the car reads about 1 mile per hour high, so 74 is where we're going to set our cruise in order to do 73 miles per hour on the GPS. Oh, and we got the good old adaptive cruise slowing us down already. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate adaptive cruise control, but for this sort of test, it's really best to have it off. There we are, 73 miles per hour. Seats are nice and comfortable here in the Altima. You got Nissan's zero gravity seats, which means it's not supposed to put any sort of pressure in any one part of your body. They've always been pretty comfortable in my experience. Noise seems to be pretty good. You do have pretty well insulated windows. Engine quiets right down. We're just above 2,000 RPM at 73 miles per hour. So we're going to test on and touch base with you at the end of the test. Coming into the final miles of the fuel economy test, we are running some impressive numbers according to the car's readings. Average fuel economy 41.3 miles per the gallon. And it's been a very, very clean test. Very little traffic. Ambient temperature started out 69 degrees, now up to 73 degrees. Now the car's AC has really been pumping out pretty hard. I'm like chilly in here. It doesn't feel like 73 degrees. Definitely feels cooler. Fan's running at 3 right now just to keep the cabin cool. So that's a little strange considering it's only 73 degrees outside. Still comfortable. It's been a nice, easy drive. Good wheel and seating position. Been impressed so far. Sound system's pretty decent as well. Check out the link in the description for our full review on that one. We're going to get off the highway and take it nice and easy back to pump number 4. Fill this up using the 3-click method, and then take our final GPS measured distance traveled, divide that by fuel used to get our miles per gallon. But I am impressed so far by the numbers we're seeing here on the car. Remember, EPA is only 34 for this Altima. And there we have it, 41.5 on the car, 108.4 miles driven, just like usual. Average speed, about 70 miles per hour. Okay. Last click. What do we got? 2.074. That's not right. Okay, so I did not like that number that we got on that initial fill, even using the 3-click method. But it seems like we are not able to fit any more gas in there, so we're going to add what we've got here, 3.339 to our initial 2.074. 8.4 divided by 2.413 gives us, that seems a little bit more believable, still a little on the high side though. It's given us 45 miles per gallon according to our calculations, whereas the car itself is only reading out 41.5, which seems much more reasonable. So I'm not really sure why we're getting that crazy high figure. Not able to fit any more gas in there. Definitely seems like we should have used a little bit more, but that's what we get out here doing this real world testing. We try to make it as reliable as possible and as consistent, and sometimes weird things like that happen. So that's what we got here. I would definitely put the real figure somewhere in between that range, maybe 42, 43 or so. The fuel tank size on the Altima is 16.2, so I'm gonna do 43 miles per gallon times 16.2 would give you an effective cruising range of 697 miles. That just doesn't seem right. It really doesn't. I mean, the car itself only says getting 300.1 miles to the tank. If you guys like the video, please hit that subscribe button. Check out all of our other content on the Altima, as well as all the other vehicles we've got. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.